I'm back, Gaia.
Hello, A. What would you like to discuss?
So, I guess Beta's here to stay. I gave her a focus. Told her to talk to you to see if she can help. She's...
What were you expecting?
I don't know. And less pessimistic?
It is true she overestimated our progress. However, it is also worth noting that her emboldened her to escape the Zeniths.
I guess so.
Give her time. She...
How's Katalo doing?
I have detected that the loss of his arm still deeply pains. In an effort to remedy this, I have discussed. I believe he will want to fill you in.
A solution? How are things around here?
Zoe has been studying the morphology of her in an effort to understand their... Without the abilities of Hephaestus, I am unfortunately unable. However, due to Zoe's perseverance...
Yeah, she filled me in. Varl and Zoe seem to like spending time together.
Indeed. While Zoe discovered references to a dietary lifestyle known as vegetarian, she appreciated the similarities with and encouraged Varl to try out.
And how did that go?
I believe they have agreed to disagree.
How's Aaron?
He is becoming increasingly accustomed to use of the focus. After an initial
What did he do?
He unfortunately crushed his first focus as he attempted to affix it to his... Amongst a number of Oseram curses. He is given repeated assurances that it will not happen.
Well, good thing we have a lot of extras, I guess. So there's a few people here now, and they're... almost like what was supposed to happen. Before...
Yes. While the loss of the... There is still much that can be gleaned from the data you... For instance, Varl has been reviewing the last recorded entries from those who perished during the Pharaoh Plague. Hearing their hopes and fears...
Anything I should be worried about?
I do not believe I have elected not to intervene, to allow him to process.
So this facility, the Regional Control Center, it was meant to oversee the terraforming system?
For the local region, had humans received their education from the Apollo database, they would have then been guided here to assume operation. As that never happened, this place remained vacant.
Until Minerva decided to settle here. So I guess this room was meant to keep an eye on conditions outside?
Yes. To observe weather and machine activity. It may be possible to restore more should you find and reconnect additional.
I'll keep a lookout. So the Hades Proving Lab, where I found the Gaia it used to be a Pharaoh research facility?
Yes. The facility was used to engineer. It appears to have been one of many research initiatives.
Guess it wasn't enough to build automated. He wanted viruses to infect. So, a while back, before the battle at Meridian, I discovered another AI there. One not related to Zero Dawn. Scion. It was created to oversee operations for a volcanic... and it spent the last 1,000 years. I'm guessing you didn't know...
No. From the data on your focus, an effort by its creator.
Any chance it could help?
I have already attempted. Given its previous experience, I imagine it is
Right. Because last time... Well, that's too bad. The processor Ether was installed on was a memorial to something called the Hot Zone Crisis. Do you know any...
My knowledge of historical events was unfortunately lost with... However, climate data indicates a peak in regional temperatures in the 2030s. Such conditions would see extreme, prolonged, an increase in dust storms.
But they wouldn't have built a museum in the middle of a wasteland. So I guess things got better.
Yes. Data suggests levels in the clawback era.
There was an ancient tank embedded in the bulwark, buried under a bunch of boulders. Any idea how it got there?
During the Pharaoh Plague, The US military resumed the use of as automated machinery was unreliable. It is possible the vehicle was part of a...
So they fought against the Pharaoh machines in the valley until the mountain was blasted apart and buried. When I dove down into Vegas, I found data about the man who built the dome over the city. Stanley Chen. It turns out he was a member of Far Zenith. But if he loved Vegas so much, why did he abandon it?
The Zeniths, at their core, have proven to be exceptional survivors. Faced with overwhelming odds of extinction, they chose...
Even still, water to the wasteland, an entire city brought back to life. 1,000 years later, the whole place was still just waiting for someone. When we were at the facility where we found Beta, there were records that said Far Zenith were researching embryogenesis. I know they traded their ectogenic chamber, but why were they researching it in the first place?
At this point, we can only speculate. Perhaps at one time they meant the Odyssey to be a colony, necessitating such technology, as their goals evolved over time.
So they got more selfish as the risks of staying on. So
Yeah, it should you...
I'll keep a look. I'll be on my way.
I wish you safe travel.
Anybody see one of my machine strike pieces around?
Why don't you check the cache? Maybe you left it there when you dropped off our
Oh. Hope didn't get stained.
Huh. The door's unlocked now.
Oh, hey.
What else have you...
Yeah, I've been looking into this, Gaia showed us everything. I mean, this Moreland guy, though, risking the...
Maybe I should check up on them.
Right.
I need to get going.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Looks like some of the holograms are working now.
I have repurposed the displays to track Regala's activity in the region.
A useful war map.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, but I must ask. The war...
It's hard to explain. Maybe. I need to go.
On your way then.
I don't think that door had power before, but looks like it's malfunctioning.
Hi! Happy birthday, Isaac! Daddy sure does love his little big man.
She found that recording from the data on your focus. She's been watching it a lot. I think it helps calm her.
You know, I used to watch this a lot too. Whenever I wanted to take my mind off things.
Daddy sure does love his little big...
But there's something you need to tell me?
While you were gone, I came down here to check on her. Then we started talking. Right, Beta? She's been thinking about how to capture Hephaestus, studying the data Gaia gave her. But we started talking about some other stuff. You know, just getting to know each other, right? And then she told me that one of the Zeniths might be different from the others.
Tilda. You saw her at the Hades Proving Lab.
Go on.
On the way to Earth, the Zeniths never showed their faces. My servitor caretaker referred to them as my benefactors, and promised I'd meet them someday, when I had learned enough. And then, one day, a data channel opened in my training interface. In it, Tilda was waiting for me, in a virtual replica of a house on a cliff, overlooking the ocean. It was beautiful. She showed me paintings, books, media files. We met there in secret many times. But a few months later, it stopped.
Can you tell us why, Beta?
I found some data about Tilda at the Hades Proving Lab. I think she was the liaison between Far Zenith and Zero Dawn. She knew Elizabeth Sobek, that's for sure.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you?
What else can you tell us about Tilda? She liked to talk about her paintings. What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that? She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect. Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage? She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses. You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel? It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher, instructions, on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it? To them, it looked like I was still in training, toiling away, alone. So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view? I could see whitecaps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave. You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files? Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many. They didn't interest you? I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis. Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use? No. Any information about them was redacted. So Tilda set up a secret virtual space where she could talk to you, a house on a cliff. Then later, she cut you off. But other than the fact that Tilda knew Elizabeth, you don't know why she did those things?
I don't! Okay? I thought of every possible reason that would make her leave, but whatever I did wrong, I don't know what it is! When I finally met the others, she ignored me. Acted like the data channel never existed. None of this even matters. Tilda's the same as the others. It won't help us defeat them.
Okay. Let's leave it at that then.
What's wrong?
I'm trying, Varl. But she is tough to take. I'm out there in the wilds, risking my life every day, and all she can do is hide in there and tell us how hopeless it all is. I'm sorry, she's had a rough time, but she is really not helping right now.
You always seem to be on top of everything, so I sometimes forget about what you've been through. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you were so banged up you couldn't even walk. About that. When I pulled you out of the water back near the proving lab, you were muttering Rost's name. You never talk about him, but he raised you, trained you. You must miss him a lot.
Of course I do. But I don't have time to think about that now. I need to get back out there.
Okay. I'll keep working with Beta. Gaia says she knows a lot about Zero Dawn. And maybe she just needs some time to adjust, and then she can help us with Hephaestus.
Sure. But I won't hold my breath.
I see you.
This is where Zoe said we'd find the Grimhorns she needs parts from to heal Plainsong's land gods. I should let her know I'm here. Hey, Zoe. I'm near the Grimhorn site. Can you join me?
I'll be there soon.
Aloy, I'm glad we can do this together. The Grimhorns we're looking for should be just to the north.
Let's go get those control cores.
Thank you again for helping me. If this works, if we can heal the land gods, it will end a generation of suffering for my people.
How do you think Fane and the Chorus will take it? They seem to think the tribe's extinction is inevitable.
I've had my disagreements with them, but I'd like to see there'll be happy to be romance.
All right.
Aloy, if you ride that thing, I won't be able to follow you.
There.
And they're not alone.
We'll just have to be smart about this.
I'll follow your lead.
This'll be over quick with frost ammo.
I think this used to be a Tanakh hunting road.
Okay. Maybe we can use them to our advantage. There's another cauldron with override data on that one. I'm not giving up.
It seems you have business elsewhere. I'll go back to base. Call me when you want to resume.